The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good, Lewis. We're going to do something different today, folks, because I'm still having technical difficulties with the charts. I'm unable to get them to the right size to post them into the den. I'm unfortunately unable to do that. If you do want a copy of these charts, I will send them to you in a file if you drop me an email at larrypesavento@gmail.com. I'm going to post bits and pieces of them because there's nothing else that I can do. Now, the chart that I want you to look at today, this is something to me is very, very important because the history behind this is quite important. Here is the chart of the natural gas. Now, defy human nature, like Twentyman says, and do the work yourself. But if you look at this chart over the past 5 months, you'll see that we've had some really huge swings. But you'll notice that the line on the top line, the downsloping line, was a perfect Twentyman line, just like we had in copper. You see the market came up, had a rally, and it's setting right on this line today, folks. This is set up for a major failure. And that's exactly what happened today. There's a whole sequence of charts on this that I had ready for you to take a look at it. That is known as a valid trend line. The reason why it's valid is because each of the points on the trend line are an exact Fibonacci retracement. The first one was exactly 786. The second one was exact 786. Now, when Jim Hurst wrote the book in 1972, the Profit Magic of Stock Transaction Timing, at the same time that book was written, William Garrett wrote a book called Torque Analysis of Stock Market Cycles. They were both published by McGraw-Hill. The problem was the Hurst book was only $8.95. The other book by Garrett was $29.95. Now, $29.95 in 1972 was a lot of bread. I mean, happy birthday to you, Tom. May God bless you. Do a great job. And we want to wish you a very, very happy birthday. And you have that beautiful little grandson. I get pictures of him all the time, and it's really fun to see him grow so much. 9 months goes so fast. Okay, now let's getting back to this valid trend line concept, because this is what I used to use years ago, and I'm probably start using it again sometime on these down moves like this that we might be seeing someday. Anyway, let's go back into this valid trend line concept. The reason why it was so important today, because it was set up just absolutely perfectly for the market to stop at 528 in the natural gas. It was just absolutely. Mr. Bill, you always start your trend lines on the top or on the bottom. They have to be connected by cycles. That's the main thing that you really want to be doing. You want to be able to connect the cycles down so that they match up. That's really what you want to be looking for. Now, when you have two of these together like this, and they start to fail, that tells you that the momentum or the trend is to the downside. That's exactly what happened. This thing dropped $3,000 in a matter of I think about an hour and a half. I mean, it was just really, pretty much straight down. Now, do you see these perfectly like this? No, not often. But when you do, you have to be sort of prepared for those. This is one we were looking at today because the preparation for it was really quite easy. All you had to do was go back and look to see what the market had done on a previous basis, and from there, you'll see this was the start of the big move. You can see we're trading well below $2,000 from where this chart is posted, and you see once it broke, oh dear, shut the front door and raise the rent. There we go. Once it broke that 528 level, that told you that this was ready to go. And then at that point, you didn't have much to risk. So that's the thing to keep in mind. Now, when folks, it's around 1962, 1963, Commodity Corporation was formed by Helmut Wiemeyer, Milton Friedman, and Amos Hostetter. Okay, Wiemeyer was the I think that was his name. Helmet. Yep, that pretty sure was his name. He was the money man, the point man. Got all the press was Milton Friedman, and the brains behind the outfit was Amos Hostetter. Now, Amos was a broker at Hornblower and Weeks and had a lot of family customers, of course, but he had a lot of big customers too, and that's how Commodity Corporation got started. Now, what they did. In 1966, they started looking around for computer programmers. Well, they found somebody down there in Memphis, Tennessee, who had gone to USC and was the roommate of Trent Lott, Speaker of the House. His name was Jay Crosp. And Jay was my dearest friend till he passed away the same day that OJ was on the chase back in 94, I believe. And anyway, Jay worked for them for about 4 years. And then went out on his own to be a trader, and he remained that way until the day he was killed in an auto accident there in Memphis, Tennessee. But during that time, I was able to meet Amos twice. I met him once in 1971. I met him again in 1973. He died in 1975. I think he was about 71 at the time. He was killed in, believe it or not, folks, Longboat Key, Florida, one of my favorite places in the whole world. He was between Sarasota and Longboat Key. He was hit in an accident with a drunk driver. His wife was in the hospital for 9 months. She didn't know that her husband was dead for 6 months of that, so it was a pretty sad thing. But anyway, what Amos did was he was an expert technician. He had all this information from the computers on looking at oscillators and moving averages and stuff like that. This was before we had anything. Believe me, they really put a lot of money into that. That was so secure when you went to the place that no one even got to go in there without a special pass because they watched it so very, very closely. The reason why I'm bringing this up to you is because all the stuff that we have available now is very, very important. Now, let's move forward about 30 years. Now it's 1995, and Commodity Corporation is changing hands. Things are different, and Goldman Sachs puts out a feeler to buy Commodity Corporation. What they wanted was their proprietary trading system that they had, and they were willing to pay $20 million for it, plus some extra money for their facilities and some other things that they had going on. So Goldman Sachs bought that. And basically, I mean, Jay and Amos Hostetter built the darn thing. And basically what it was a way of looking at valid trend lines and breakouts. I mean, and I'm not, anyway, that's really what they were looking at. So anyway, that's how that whole thing got started. And then, of course, later on, Commodity Corporation dissolved, and Goldman Sachs, I don't know whether they continued to use it or improved it or whatever they did. Who knows? But that's it. Now, when we get back from the break here, I want to talk a little bit more about that valid trend line concept that we had here in the copper yesterday. This is important because this is the same type of stuff that Amos was doing, and also Jim Twentyman. So let me get this up here, and hopefully you'll see part of it. These are all available. If you want them, I will be happy to fire them out to you to let you see whether you want them or not. Please let me know, folks, at TFNN when the break is coming up, because I have no way of knowing when the break time is coming. And here it is.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, Bo's making a correction on my laptop to try. Bo, we've tried that. We've done everything but go in with crayons to try to fix it, but that doesn't work, unfortunately. Can we ask it again why you trade 4-minute versus 5-minute difference? Ruby, that actually the difference is, and I'm going to tell you the truth here, it's really strange because there's not much difference between 4 minutes and 5 minutes. But Ruby, Bryce Gilmore was really big into this, these charting things. And when I first met him in '88, he asked me why I use 5-minute, and I said, well, everybody uses 5 minutes. He said, well, you should use 4-minute because the Earth moves 1 degree every 4 minutes. And so that's why I use 4 degrees now, or 4 minutes. But what happened was when we first started working with the artificial intelligence program and with Dennis Reagan back in 1990, Dennis was using 2 minutes. And so the only ways we got to 2 minutes is because we bought this machine called a MIPS machine, multiple integers per second. And we would look at hundreds of thousands of patterns and things to find out the relationships mathematically of how they related. And with 2 minutes, you get down to the actual nitty-gritty of what you're looking at. That's basically what Benoit Mandelbrot was doing when he was doing his work on geometry, and that's the ABCD pattern that he also called the seed, and that's the reason why. But frankly, for trading purposes, the difference between a 4-minute and a 5-minute really doesn't make any difference, Ruby. They are so close. It's for trading purposes, it is truly insignificant. So we'll see how these things work out. Okay, now let's get back to this chart that we were talking about with the valid trend line. Now I put the chart in for the high-grade copper because we was looking at that yesterday with that beautiful line. And then what I also did was I posted the line with the Gann angles on it. And the reason why I did that is because, let's get this up here. There they are. Hold on just a second. Get this out of the way. I know you can't see these, but if you want them, they're there. Okay, you'll see here, these are the Gann angles. Now, when Amos would do a chart, he would draw a valid trend line. He was aware of the work of W.D. Gann, because I asked him once point blank in a question and answer thing, if he used any of Gann's stuff, and he said he liked the 45-degree angle. Well, the 45-degree angle is the one you're seeing that makes the 20-man line. 20-man spent 6 months. Drexel Burnham Lambert paid him a full salary, including his commissions, for 6 months to study W.D. Gann. So we went over to the Investment Center bookstore. They were on Little Santa Monica at Don Mack's place. He worked with Jerry Bommering and Brad Cohen and a few other people during that time, and they worked on a lot of stuff like this. Jim does not use hardly any Gann stuff anymore. He uses little tiny bits and pieces. He uses none of the Astro stuff that Gann supposedly worked with, and so I don't know. Gann was very mysterious, of course. When we were still at Drexel, I've told this story, I'll tell it again. We hired a private detective, Dan, I can't remember his last name, Dan the PI man, that's what he was known as, to just find out what we could about the guy. And so he did. He ran a check. The guy left a will. He died in 54, I believe, and he left a will of about $250,000 in liquid assets, and he had a fishing boat, a little yacht called, I don't know how big it was, but called the Coffey Bean, and he left some other things. He had 3 children. He had 2 boys and a girl. I personally spoke to 2 of the boys back in 77 or 78, one of those years. One was a dentist. The other was a bond broker for Dean Witter. They said their father was a workaholic, that he spent there, all of his time up on the 3rd floor of their house. They lived in a beautiful home in West Palm Beach. I don't know the address of it, but that's pretty much it. The daughter would not have anything to do with talking to me. She did not get along well with her father for reasons who knows, but that's neither here nor there. The stories you hear about the $50 million in the Bahama bank accounts, that is all, as we say in the trade, caca. That's also known as bullpucky, and in other vernaculars, it's known as a BS. So that's the basic. He was very successful. There's no question about it. He happened to be a good friend of Harold McKinley Gartley of the Gartley pattern stuff. So that's all those guys lived during that era. Gartley died in 1969. So that's the story behind those trend lines and why they work and why they hit the way they do. I really don't know the answer to it. All I know is when they work really good. Now, remember we hit this 4 days ago in copper, and copper was trading around the 429 level. We rallied about 11 cents. We got up to 441, I believe, today. That's taken 5 days to rally 11 cents. Folks, if this was really a powerful rally in copper, one would think that it would be up at least 20 or 30 cents. It might still be later on, but the key here is if the copper starts to roll over from this level, look out. That's what it's going to be looking at. We'll see how it works when we go through these and look at some of the others that we're looking on. I noticed that Tesla was down $200 a share at one time from the high. It hit $1,200 and something and down to $1,000 and something. Folks, believe me, again, I mean, when you read the stuff in Twitter that Mr. Musk is posting, trust me when I tell you that he's already made his decision on what he was going to do, and before he did that, he does that just to see how many responses that he gets. I mean, that's silly to stop and think that you're going to be able to get into the mind of somebody like Elon Musk or Carl Icahn or Tom O'Brien, somebody like that. No, you're not going to be able to do that. They're not going to come out and say, yeah, this is what I'm doing. The same thing with the Federal Reserve. You know, these guys, they don't, what they do and what they say, are 2 different things. Just look at the history of the darn thing, folks. Read that book, The Secrets of the Temple, or the Creature from Jekyll Island, and you'll see how some of these things are unfolded. And especially, I have no axe to grind with anybody, but I've seen from personal experience how they operate. Look at the perfect example. Several years ago, crude oil setting at 144, and Goldman Sachs puts out a special 25 or 30-page report on why oil was going to $25 to $2,000 a barrel. And guess who was doing all the selling? hello, operator, as the old grandma used to say, fate fubo, get wise. Okay, now, that's the main things that I wanted to cover on the first section of the show today. The second section, I want to talk a little bit about this food shortage that we're hearing about and the fact that everybody was, they don't call it front running, Bob. They call that smart investing. I don't know. I listen to the news and I listen to what people are saying and stuff. But golly, when someone tells you something, say, now why is this person sharing this wonderful information for me? I read that book, Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, so many times it's been ingrained in my psychic for so many years. Why is this happening? Why are they so kind enough to come in? If you remember old Westlake, and I was living in Westlake Village, we'll take a break here. 877-927-6648.
Are you having fun trading the markets but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading market and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other tigers and tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, by the way, we have a birthday boy here at TFNN besides Mr. Tom O'Brien, Shane Smolian today, folks. Today's his birthday, so let's send out some good white light to him. And speaking of white light, we have Mr. White Lightning on the line right now. Mr. Z, how you doing? Well, there went my chance to be a comedian. Hey, John, how you doing?
Larry, this is Jim in Palm Harbor, Florida.
Oh, it's Jim in Palm Harbor. Well, they told me it was Mr. Z. I'm sorry.
The Tampa Bay Lightning is down here in Tampa, so it got cold. It got down to 53, and it's only going to be 77 for a high.
Wow, that is cold. What can I do for you, pal?
Okay, I pulled up looking at one of the archives, and I didn't realize I went back a couple years, and you were talking about if you get a chance to buy these silver rounds, $13 an ounce, $14 an ounce, go ahead and grab them. So you were right on that call. So my question is for nieces, nephews, neighbors. Would you approach just pocketing silver rounds at $30 if you get them 30 or under, or what's your outlook on silver and gold and platinum? That's what I'm leading to.
Platinum, I don't know anything about because it's hard to buy. If you buy a platinum coin, you have to pay a premium. If you sell it, they give you a terrible discount because they're hard to assay and there's not much demand for them. But silver rounds are always in demand. They're beautiful coins. Buy them at any price. Because someday down the road, long after I'm up into that area where only the angels trade or whatever, hopefully that's where I'm going, we will be looking at silver way over $100 an ounce, I believe, someday, and gold. Who knows where gold's going to go? But the silver rounds at that point was a no-brainer. That was real easy. But that was the one time I was right in the last 5 years. So thanks for bringing it up, Jim. I'll send you the $20 just as soon as I get it. Okay, I've got a horse in the fifth race tomorrow, so be patient.
Okay, and the only other question is I'm driving around town, and I haven't looked at the gold charts, but obviously we've broken above that 1800 resistance and 1820 resistance. What's your over the next couple of weeks? Have you looked? I haven't looked at the pattern either, so I'm just looking for your review of gold.
I'm very, very bullish gold. We went long the other day when we had that 382 pullback at 1785. We're trading at 1728. Once we clear 1850, we will see new highs in gold within 3 months. We'll be above $2,000 an ounce. That's a bold prediction, but I like that chart. And for heaven's sake, silver's still lagging badly, but if we can get above 1850, that's going to be a short jump, $200, because stop and think, we went from 1670 to 1850. We jumped $200 in 2 months. We can easily go another $200 in 3 months. So I am very bullish to gold, very bullish.
Okay, that's all I needed to hear, and you have a great day. And
hey, thanks for calling in, and I appreciate you remembering the old silver rounds. They're worth the premium's almost the cost of the coin now. They're asking so much on a premium. Yeah, it's ridiculous. You're really talking.
I mean, if you could find them at 31.32 just for a generic silver round, they're shiny,
and it's hard to find them in quantity too. Yeah, it sure is. So we'll see.
Good to hear you.
Okay, thanks for calling in.
Okay?
You bet, buddy. Now I hope we have Mr. Z on the line. Z, are you there?
Larry, I am here. I've listening to the conversation just passed. Just to let you know, reception or something seems to be amiss. So if we're cutting in and out, we probably should just cease the conversation. But we'll do our best.
You're coming in perfectly, my friend. I'm the one that's garbled. I was garbled from the time I left high school, so that's not your fault. That's even during the 6 years when I was in high school, I was garbled. So now, hopefully, with this, you're coming in perfectly. So go ahead, my friend. Please tell us what you're looking at.
Two things on oil. First, a question to you. That's pullback low last week, 78.25 on the Dees contract.
Yes.
Is that a low from which we're launching to make higher highs, please?
Yes, sir. I do believe it is. We're already up $4 a barrel in just a matter of a few trading days, so that doesn't look. And today we had a perfect ABCD on a half-hour chart right at the 81.80 level, and we're already $1,300, $1,400 above that. So these are not very signs in oil that I can see.
Very good. It's funny you should mention that. I forgot to buy or rebuy Dees down there at the 81 level. I see what you're looking at. I was consumed looking at a couple of other things, so missed that re-entry. I did enter into June 2022 oil, and this is the second point I wanted to mention to you, Larry. I recall vividly doing quite well in NYMEX oil speculation in the 2004 to 2008 time frame. And it was during those 4 years that oil did this. It started out 2004 at $34, $35 a barrel. And then, of course, into 2008, it ran up to that 140 peak. And you've said many times over the past years that at that peak, a Goldman call came out, said it was going to 200, and then topped right there at 140 and has never been there since. But during that 04 to 08 period, en route from 35 up to 100, then 120, I did quite well. And what I was doing and observed at that time, Larry, was that during an advance on the weekly charts and taking gains at selected spots, I would notice that the futures contracts 6 months out the calendar curve were at a large discount. In other words, there was lots of backwardation in that market, meaning the front spot contract was at a certain price, and the more distant contracts out the calendar curve were dollars below. And what was interesting during that 04 to 08 bull run, that phenomena existed virtually uninterrupted. And during that period of time, when I booked gains on a spot contract, wherever it was at the time, and bought a contract out 3 months or out 6 months, it kept on paying these massive benefits as that distant contract, which became spot within 3 or 6 months, would rally in the bull market, which was ongoing. But in addition to rallying in the bull market, that discount on a more distant contract on its route to catch up to spot led for these enhanced gains. And I'm seeing the same thing now. So I just wanted to share that with you, you and your listeners, and also that explains why I've been trading the D's contract the past weeks, of course, but for the first time entered into the June contract, which currently is 76, which is, a good $6.50 under the spot.
Yep. Yeah, I know, but there's so much volume out there in those back months that it doesn't make any difference. They're great for trading vehicles. That's it. For me to try to predict where oil's going to be, in 3 months or 6 months, I have a hard time where it's going to be at 10:30 this afternoon. Anyway, hey, listen, thanks for joining us, Mr. Z. I appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
You bet.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, folks, I would like to point out that we are looking at cocoa right now. Hopefully its chart is going to be on there, but it's only bits and pieces. Ruby's asked us to take a look at it. Ruby, you can see here that we went down a little bit below the 61% retracement there at 24.50. We've rallied for 5 days and gone nowhere. To me, cocoa has turned down. You can see the 3 drive to a top pattern that we had up there. These are all listed in the 24/7 newsletter that we do every week. Trade what you see. That'll be locked right up there. But we've had a 5 day. Let me see. Well, it doesn't do me any good to put the chart up because you can't see it. But if you would look at it on an hourly chart over the last 5 or 6 days, you'll see that we've basically gone from a 24.25 up to a 25.10, and basically nothing. And in fact, the last couple of days have been lower highs. So this is not a bullish phenomenon here in cocoa. The good part about it is that if you wanted to buy it, you could buy it as long as your stop is below 24, and that would be like at 23.95. We're trading at 24.63, so that would be a relatively substantial loss. So this one I don't see as a really clear spot to be a buyer in the cocoa. In fact, we're seeing coffee also has sold off from that really strong area of 210. Let me bring up no one's asked about the coffee, so let's not worry about it. And I did post a chart of the gold in there, folks. The reason why I did that, this is a 15-minute chart over the last 5 days. And as you can see, if you can see, you'll notice that all of those retracements have been 382 ever since the Gartley formed at 1760. The low is 1759. That was a perfect 3-drive pattern. We talked about on this show many times, and we have come out of here like a rocket. We're up well over $70 an ounce, or $60 an ounce. Yeah, $60-some an ounce, which is really close to the harmonic number, the 2 times the harmonic number, 32 times 64. The bottom was 60. So at 90, well, you add 60 to 34, that's going to take you up to be 94. We're way above that. So we're looking at something that could be really significant in the gold market. The key to the gold market, from my perspective, being a technician, is a close above 1850. If we close above 1850, that's $22 from where we are right now. If we close above that, that gives us a chance to make new highs by probably, I would guess, somewhere March, probably, maybe earlier, if things get really dicey. People forget that when gold runs, and believe me, folks, there's so many gold bugs, raise your hand, Larry, out there that we've never given up. And I've loved this stuff from, fact is, in the 22-year down move that we had from 2000, from 1990, we didn't bottom until 2020. 2002, I believe. 22 years we were in a down move where we got to about, I think, 240 an ounce from 860. And from 240, we went up to 1900. 1900 we came down, and then we went back up and made another new high at 2000. Folks, if they can take Bitcoin to 69,000, they can take gold higher. Gold is something you can actually hold in your hand. You can't hold a Bitcoin in your hand. You know, whether that means anything, whether it's even important or not, I don't know. All I can tell you is people that like gold, and gold is beautiful. I mean, you know, you've held them in your hands if you've had that opportunity, or a beautiful silver round. These are things that people get attached to, or they have a hard time selling them. The reason why I know, I mean, I was buying this stuff from 76 through 82 when I was at Drexel, and I still have people calling me that owns those same coins. They've never sold them through up or down. So that's how I know that. That's the most reasonable answer that they give me. Why didn't you sell? And what will I do with the money? That was the answer. And so anyway, I'm still bullish that stuff. I'm an old school folks. I believe that the stuff that they're playing with all this funny money and all these bonds and these options and weapons of mass destruction, ETFs, whatever they're called. Someday down the future, they're going to be talking about this. Say, why in the heck didn't we wake up and take a look at some of these things? Now, folks, but remember now, I am truly a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I am a dinosaur. When I started trading, there were 28 commodities that were liquid and active to trade. 28. We're talking 1964. That's when I really was, 63, 64. There were probably 28 at that time. Even when I was at Conti and we had the big Bunko Rainbow board, there was only about 40 of them up there, and some of those were multiple months. You know, so this is all, a lot of this stuff is new, and it's been going crazy and everything. But I do one thing, like Mark says, AB equals CD, and I do it relatively well. That's the one that gets me to the promised land, and I try to impart that to other people, and some of them take it, some of them don't, but that's neither here nor there. We're getting that gold market. The key number is, well, the actual key number is 1847. We clear above that, then we've got a really, and we're not very far away. We're only $20 away. That's just one Federal Reserve guy getting caught with his hand in the till again. That could do it. You never know. So we'll watch that. The question has been asked just a second ago about how do international markets figure into this. They chart just like we chart every day, and then I do the chart here. I try to bring up the DAX and the FTSE because Trader Tom trades those quite a bit, and we're going to be doing on the 17th of this month. Tom and I are going to be doing, he's going to be on for about an hour. I'll be on for the whole 5 hours. We're going to be trading to make some money and doing some teaching as we do this. We have a lot of fun doing it. We've done 3 of these. We've done well on the other 3, and I believe we'll do well. If we were doing it today, we would have done well, because when that S&P hit 4701, it was calling Mr. Fibonacci 618, please dial in with 3 lower tops. What else could you ask for than that? And it broke 35 handles. Actually, it broke 35 handles. Anyway, we didn't get the whole 35. Of course, we got 34.75. No, folks, we trade in and out all the time, watching little ABCDs as we speak. Now, if you have some fun, go down to a 4-minute chart and look at the nice little ABCDs that we've had today in the E-mini S&P, or you could even do it in the gold if you like, or in natural gas that has got all the way down to 492 today, folks. And the sell signal came in at 528. That is $3,600 in a contract that has margin of 2,900. You can't ask for anything better than that. That's a really good risk-reward ratio as you're doing these things here. Now, tomorrow I will not be here because I am going to be working with the people at HotCom. They've given me the whole morning to get this thing fixed up. If I get it fixed up before then, I will be on the air tomorrow. Otherwise, you can look for me on Thursday, and we'll get the program going the best we can. I'll figure out a way to post these in a different way, maybe through the Tiger Den of some way. But it's too frustrating for me to talk about something that I can't actually physically show you what's happening. And that's a problem for me because when we do the live trading session, I have to have access, to the pointer to show you where these points are because that determines the geometry of what we're looking at. We'll be right back. 877-927-6648.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are you looking for a secured investment which pays you on a monthly basis? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be the program for you. The best rate on a 5-year CD in the country right now, according to Bankrate.com, is paying 1% per year or $1,000 per $100,000 invested. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly, on secured, high-value, buildable properties in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment is for 4 years, paying 7% per year or $7,000 per $100,000 invested. Your investment is secured by high-value real estate in St. Petersburg, Florida. Your investment can be anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000. Do you want to make $1,000 per year on $100,000 invested or $7,000 per year on a secured Tiger First mortgage? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be just the program for you. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly. For more information, you can call 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
Okay, folks, I just got an email from the young man that posted that chart about the fib numbers and stuff related to November 8th. His name is Tom. He's got a website and everything, but he does not do a contact of any type of radio shows or anything other than that. So he's not involved in the financial industries, but that chart's pretty significant because had several people ask about it, but we'll go on from there. Okay, the other chart that I was unable to post today was the platinum chart, folks, because it does look very, very bullish. The gold chart looks the most bullish, platinum second, and silver third. Whether they go up in that section or not, I'm not sure, but let's pay attention to that very closely. The key number here, I think we could get a correction here in gold at any time, and I'm waiting to see what it's going to be, but 1847, if we get above 1847 in gold, that's going to tell me you don't want to be short after that because that thing could really tick off. We've gone from 1670 to 1832 very, very quickly. That's 150 $660 an ounce very, very quickly. And many only with 161% retracement and 2,382 retracements. That tells you that that's a very, very bullish sign. So that's it. And if you do have a chance to buy some silver rounds, buy them, because I know they're a little more expensive than they were when we were looking at them at around $14. But back then, believe it or not, the premium was only $1.50 to $2 per round, and now it's anywhere from $8 to $15 per round, because they just don't have them. I mean, it's just they're just hard to get for some reason. And there's plenty of silver around. It's not that it's a scarce metal. It's just that they're not using it for making rounds and stuff like that. We need to pay close attention to copper here, folks, because if we only get this 5-day rally in copper and it breaks, not a good sign. Just like we just had in the natural gas, sometimes these things roll over, and when they do, with the exception of the stock market. See you on Thursday, folks. Bye-bye.